White Oleander, the story of how sometimes life is really not fair and people really suck. It's told from the first person point of view of Astrid, who we know from age 12 to about 18, maybe a little older at the end, about how she admires her mother, who is, in the book, a cold and narcissistic and manipulative poet. And also she knows that she's the reason her mother has less of a freewheeling lifestyle and has to work a full-time job that most writers would be tickled pink to have, and is expected to attend meetings with teachers about her education. In the movie, Astrid's mother, Ingrid, is an artist, mostly photography. She has a job in the art industry that she likes, and she's warm to her daughter and has kind of a it's us versus the world kind of relationship with her. Now, the way her relationship with her victim, Barry, is detailed in the book, it's timelined the way it normally would be timelined, from when they met to when it all went down really so badly. He, did all he could to pursue her. She was not interested, but he won her over. And he ingratiated himself into their lives, walks on the beach, ball games, hot dogs, sleepovers, dinners, all that. And then he pulled the usual stereotypical commitment phobic crap and just ghosted them, which is how Ingrid lost her mind. She trashed his house, destroyed his work, and smeared the telltale oleander nectar all over every surface of his house and put it in his drinks, and which led to the story we are familiar with. In the movie, the relationship between Ingrid and Barry is told by Astrid through a series of flashbacks through her journey through foster care. And it starts with after her mother's arrested and taken away, she's first transferred to Star, where she stays for about 2 years, and it seems like everything's going to be okay until Astrid makes the typical mistake of every, teenage girl who has daddy issues. She does have, an affair with Star's boyfriend, which is what gets her a bullet to the shoulder. In the movie, it's only implied that they had that fling, and it just seems like this could be interpreted as just a jealous delusion of Star's, anyway, it ends up the same. She takes that bullet, she's taken away. Now, it doesn't go in the book straight from Star to a brief stay at the group home to Claire. There are 2 awful foster mothers missing from the movie that it would have made the movie longer, but it made the book impossible to put down. First, there's Marvel, the bigoted and ignorant couch potato who takes in foster kids to avoid having to go to a job. She is indifferent towards Astrid and treats her like maybe you would treat a goldfish. Has her sleep in the laundry room, and when Astrid is spending Christmas at Marvel's place, she gets gifts from the 99-cent store that don't have a whole lot of thought put into them, while Marvel's own biological kids get the expensive, trendy gifts. And during Astrid's stay with Marvel, she befriends her neighbor Olivia, who is she works at a bank, and by night she has a side hustle as a prostitute to fund the lifestyle she wants. Of course, Marvel hates her for this, and when she finds out, that Astrid's been visiting her, she, goes crazy. Also, while Astrid is visiting with Olivia and learning more about her, and Olivia is imparting to her why she does what she does, Astrid starts taking, what she learns from Olivia and using it to, she performs some sexual favors upon the neighborhood boys to get pot, as a way to cope with living with a horrible person like Marvel. Of course, because of all the pot and all the fun stuff and the hanging out with Olivia, Marvel turns her back to foster care, which brings us to the next nightmare foster mother, Amelia. She collects foster kids just for the money. She has like 3 or 4 others living with her by the time she takes in Astrid, and she only feeds them once a day. The rest of the money she gets from the state for foster care goes to her keeping up with the Joneses. She remodels her house. She buys antiques, all that. And Astrid finally convinces her social worker to take her away when she's probably at 75% of her healthy BMI. Which finally leads us to Claire, who outwardly seems like the dream foster mom. She lives a cozy life, has a big, beautiful home. She likes gardening. She's self-employed as an actress, and her husband is a producer for like a ghost hunting show. And he's gone a lot. And that is where the book and the movie start to finally come together in similarity. It's revealed that Claire and Mark's marriage is on the rocks. She doesn't trust him, and he's more married to his job than he is to her. And Astrid overhears the discussion that leads to the revelation that Astrid is supposed to be, the foster care version of a fixer baby. And then, of course, after meeting with Ingrid, Claire she gives in to her fears, she gives in to her self-loathing, and she commits suicide with the pills and the alcohol, leaving Astrid all by herself all over again. Back to the group home, where it's violent and scary. But throughout each repeat visit back to the group home, she does have one constant comfort that she can count on: her friend Paul. He's an artist like she is. They have a way of communicating when they're not around each other at the group home through a nearby comic store. And it's during that last trip to the group home that Astrid finally finds someone that she can count on not to disappoint her before she ages out. Rena, the Russian immigrant and survivor who she collects teenage foster kids as like her roomies. She teaches them survival by selling things and just living kind of like gypsies and roommates, and kind of creating a tiny little hippie commune. And the only thing missing in the movie from that part of the book is that there's one guy living with all of them, Rena's friend from Russia, who is a short-term boyfriend of Astrid's. Now, the ending of the book and the movie are very different for the same reason. Ingrid's getting a new trial because some women's studies students brought in a celebrity lawyer to try and get her conviction overturned. And of course, Astrid learns to bargain through Rena with this lawyer to get some things she needs for survival. Alright, so she gets money from her, and then she meets with Ingrid for the last time to get the truth out of her. And she does, and it's all ugly, and it just breaks her heart about how Ingrid truly did not want to be a mother. She always wanted to have her freewheeling artist, bohemian lifestyle, and she felt trapped by motherhood. And she felt humiliated and ugly and defeated by Astrid's father leaving them. And then now that Astrid has what she wants, her confession, she'll do as her lawyer wants. She will speak for her. In the book, she does. She goes to the trial, she speaks for her, and Ingrid's conviction is overturned. This lawyer would manage to convince the jury that Barry killed himself with Oleander's nectar. In the movie, Ingrid finally finds it within herself to let Astrid go, and Astrid never testifies and lies in court for her, and Ingrid just goes back to prison while Astrid moves on with her life with Paul. The movie ends with Paul and Astrid in New York. The book ends with Paul and Astrid in Germany, living the way Rena taught her how, surviving and making art And one of her great art pieces is these shadow boxes she makes to represent the people in her lives. She makes some really cool ones to represent Claire and represent her own mother. And that's kind of how the movie opens. It opens with her series of shadow boxes to represent all her foster mothers. And it ends the same way. And that's pretty much how it ends. And there's no happily ever after. Like I said, it could cut close to reality. This could happen in real life because people suck and life is not fair. All right, and that sums it all up. I hope you enjoyed. That's white oleander, and that's also a lesson. If you see white oleanders, don't touch them, don't drink them, because they're poisonous. All right, so thank you for watching. I hope you will like and subscribe and make requests and email anything you want. Thank you for watching.